Michele Miccarelli, we are about to start your Zoom call for your Zoom class, right? This Klimt
Yes, the Klimt
piece,
Tree.
the
This is the
Klimt
pillow
tree.
size.
That's the pillow size. And how big is
Yes,
that?
18 by
That's a
18.
nice size, isn't it?
And everyone in the class got a kit. Um, I'm reluctant to teach with a kit because I don't think it gives people quite enough freedom. But I was afraid since it was my first Zoom class, I didn't want people to be all over the place with their questions. So I thought if we were all doing the same thing, it would help me sort of stay on track with the class. And we've planned to do it in 3 segments. This week we did the tree, which is the tree bark and the things that are within the tree bark.
Yeah.
Next week we're going to do the garden bed, which is
Okay.
underneath.
Yeah.
Mulch and grass and the motifs within that.
Okay.
And then the last week we're going to do the sky,
Okay.
which is behind the tree.
Right. Oh, beautiful.
And it's a buttermilk sky, and it has a little color towards the bottom, like it's maybe
Like
sunset or
sunset.
sunrise.
Yeah.
And then there's motifs on the tree. There's a crazy bird. Michelle's doing an Elvis bird. There's
That's that little modification.
yeah. There's an Egyptian eye, and
Oh, yeah.
some people have a bird nest with eggs in the bird nest.
So some of the people have different motifs within the
yes.
design. Very
They all
cool.
have a little bit different. I didn't draw any of them the same.
Really cool. What does buttermilk mean?
Oh, just sort of like a pale yellow sky.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. And the gorgeous Michelle Jr. is
Yes.
hooking it during the call. So how many people are going to be on the call?
So today there were 6.
Yeah.
And on Saturday there's going to be 8.
Okay, great.
So
Good.
I'm doing 2 classes, one for the working women and one for the women who are staying at home. And so that's kind of how we divided it up.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. Well, it's a gorgeous thing. Let's see how it goes, huh?
Yeah, I'm really pleased, and I thought the class went well. I thought it might be long, but actually it was not.
Yeah.
I felt like it was just right.
Just right, yeah.
Yeah.
And just the perfect amount of people as well.
Yeah.
But you felt like you could have done a couple more.
I definitely could have done a couple more.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Well, stay tuned. Let's see how it goes.
Okay.
Hey, Michelle, we need you to unmute for us, please.
Okay.
There you go.
I'm unmuted. I believe the only person I know previously is Amy. Is that correct? Do any of you know me from other classes? No? Uh-oh. So you should know I'm definitely an East Coast boisterous clown. I'll try not to use any offensive language, but you never know what might happen. Did you all get your kits and look them over?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, and did you cut your bark and alternate bark? You didn't get the email that told you what to do?
I lost my directions.
Okay, so what you should do is cut your one piece of wool marked bark and one piece of wool marked alternate bark. So it would be a rust color and maybe a brownie color. So you've got bark and alternate bark?
Yes.
Okay, so
What cut?
I used a 6, but you can use any cut you want.
I will do it in a second.
Okay, that's fine. And I want you to look at the motifs within the bark. So that's going to be some of the squares on the bottom, perhaps, or circles. All the rugs are a little different. So within the bark, at the bottom of the tree, there's some squares, or some circles, or some designs of some kind. And there's a wool or velvet or something that's marked designs within the tree or within the bark. It's probably lime green or turquoise or pink.
That turquoise,
Yeah.
that's got ripples in the trees that are the round circles.
What does it say?
Square circles, tree bark. That's what mine said.
Ripples in the tree.
No, that's not it.
I have here a motif on tree.
Okay, that looks right. So you want to cut a little bit of that, each one, and you want to start hooking one of those squares towards the bottom of the tree.
Okay.
And the fancy wool or the yarn or the metallic wool, that's going to be what you're going to fill in the little circle or the square that's within the square.
Okay. Do you cut your velvet by hand?
No, I put it through my cutter, and I usually cut mine on an 8. I put it right through the cutter. It's silk, mostly silk, and it shouldn't hurt your cutter.
Okay.
Contacting us in the swamp.
Do we want to see the?
So then this is probably that, is this that piece you're talking about? It wasn't marked.
Yeah,
Okay,
let's say it is.
okay.
This is very.
Then,
Go ahead.
who sent the email with the instructions?
I did.
When did you send?
I sent it a few days ago, and here's what it said. Cut some bark, cut some alternate bark, and the motifs within the bark.
Oh, okay.
So we're in no hurry. I'll stay as long as you need me. Just start cutting some wool.
Okay.
And I'm going to show you the little squares I'm talking about. Can you all see me? Because I can no longer see myself. Let me push a button. Oh, here. Now I see myself. Can you see those squares?
Uh-huh.
That's what you're going to hook first.
Okay.
And they're going to be nice and bright, so they'll stand out from that orange bark. Thing, whatever I sent you, goes in the middle.
Well,
Yeah.
sorry to interrupt.
You're
this
not
is the correct
interrupting.
thing,
It's
right?
your class.
Okay.
What do you want to know?
And so then we do need to cut some bark. This is the
Yes, you
bark.
need the bark and see the piece that's,
Okay, got it.
see the piece that says alternate bark?
This one.
Yes, you need to cut
It's
some of that too. Yeah?
Okay. I'm sorry, I just now opening the kit. We've had some circumstances here that I
Yes.
have not had my mind on this, unfortunately.
That's okay. We're not
But
in
I'm
any
getting
hurry.
there.
Yeah.
I'm getting there.
Just breathe. It's all fun.
It's good to visit with you.
There's
See
no
you.
no crying and rug hooking.
Yeah.
You can cry after.
Yeah, other than the bark, alternate bark, we're doing the square bottom.
Okay, let me show you. See this one side of the bottom of the tree has a little curvy section?
Correct.
That's where the alternate bark goes. So it's supposed to look like at the bottom of the tree there's something mossy, or there's lichen, or there's something going on there. Maybe there's mushrooms. So the whole tree is the piece of wool that's marked bark, and the alternate bark is that little section on the bottom. And then I thought occasionally when you're hooking the big part of the bark, you could put in a little strip of the alternate bark. And I'm going to show you my daughters again, because I think you'll be able to. Oh, I muted myself. Wait a minute. Unmute. Okay. Here is.
You're muted now, Michelle.
Okay.
You weren't before. You going
Okay,
down.
let me help you.
Okay, now can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so here is the bottom of the tree.
Come closer.
Do you
to
see
the...
the alternate bark
There you go.
and the little strips
Yes.
of alternate bark? Okay. It lofted up better when I cut it in the 8.
Okay.
And plus I just got a new 8 blade and I wanted to play with it.
You can better cut the velvet when you have the velvet on the bottom and the shiny part on top.
No, the velvet towards the top.
No, you cut it better the other way
Oh, you
around.
cut it the other way, yes. Cut it better if you have the, yes, I understand what you
Yes,
mean.
It does cut better.
But you hook it with the velvet part up, of course.
Yeah.
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 I want to mention that I love the background that you're out in the swamp or wherever you are. And one
better than the other was. I'm packing to move.
And then one day I was doing a private lesson with someone and I didn't know how to undo it, but I was on the Golden Gate Bridge. Yeah.
It's just the natural background again. I haven't figured that out, how to get back to it, but
Oh.
this is okay.
And I want you to look at my picture. See the mirror? It looks like I'm wearing a crown. Can you see my beautiful Victorian wallpaper?
Where do you live?
I live in New Haven, Connecticut. Not far from Yale University.
Oh,
I live in a part of the city that's got athletic fields, so it's very park-like and very beautiful here. But it's still in a city. It's a pretty big city. We have a very vibrant downtown restaurant, theater scene when it's not COVID.
yeah.
It's kind of sad, really. Tell the ladies about your rug. Ladies, about your special rug. Your rug is different than theirs.
Oh, yes. So I asked Michelle in the beginning that if she can make it bright. I'm from Hawaii. And then and then I asked her if she could make the bird a hummingbird. So when I received, and I made a larger pattern. And so when I received it, the title she wrote at the bottom is Klimt. Is that how you say his name?
Klimt.
Klimt.
Yes.
Klimt goes to Hawaii. It goes Hawaiian. And it's really nice. It's got a gecko. It's got a pineapple. I have a palm or a fern. A white ginger.
A Hawaiian drum.
I beg your pardon?
And a Hawaiian drum. And did you see I sent you the explanation of what the symbol was?
The translation of sun and moon.
Yes.
Of the sun and the moon?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That, so I have an image of a sun and the moon, and in Hawaii, it represents harmony.
Yes.
So thoughtful, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I hope you enjoy it. Helen, you look like you have a question.
I didn't want to interrupt you. My mind doesn't work. Today it's not working at all.
Yeah, that's okay.
I cut my wool, etc. And now I've got it mixed up.
Oh,
so
that's
maybe
okay.
if I show you my piles.
Yes, I'll help you.
Okay, great.
That's what I'm here
sorry.
for.
I'm usually not this bad.
So, you know those those squares, what's the brightest thing you see?
I see strips of orange and pink.
Yarn?
And I also, in the yarn, yes.
Okay.
And I see the green strip. And over here is another pile.
Yeah, no, we're not there yet.
Now, that's alternate bark.
Okay, good. Okay. So there should be a couple of bright things that I'm not seeing.
Huh.
Maybe it's that pink, or go back to the other piles.
What about this pink here?
Yeah.
By the blue.
All right.
Okay, so that's.
So you make your first square in the pink.
All right.
And then you can fill it in with, see that fuzzy metallic yarn there?
Yes.
Fill it in with that. Fill the middle with that.
But you did it. Yay.
Yeah. So we're being filmed by my friend Deanna David here. Stick your face in.
Hello.
Hi, Deanna.
Hi. Looks like you're all doing a great job. So far, so good.
So Deanna and I are gonna hopefully write an article for the Rug Hooking magazine about this first Zoom class I'm experiencing, and you'll all be big stars.
That's right.
Oh, good. Make sure you photograph my right side.
Yeah. Is your right side your right side your wrong side, or your wrong side your left side?
Yes, truthfully, I don't have a good side, but whatever you do.
Same idea that
Yeah.
you have.
I steam the front and the back of mine if it's all wool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do both. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I do too. If it's all wool, yes.
And
I don't want the loft.
And sometimes
Okay,
I
I'm
do
done
it.
Here.
Sometimes I do it multiple times until it's looks like I'm a good hooker.
Are a good hooker. Who are you kidding? So we can go on to the green or whatever.
Yes, the next square
You're done with one?
or diamond.
I have to start all over again.
It's all right. It's not a race.
Tammy, you're such a perfectionist.
Look, I don't hook high anyways, and so my velvet was slow, and then when
Oh.
I need to hook it higher, I pulled it out and tried it again.
Doing this.
Well,
This is the first class for us and for you, and
yeah.
I really appreciate it. Just
So-
jumping right in.
Thank you. I would say it's my pleasure, but I'll wait 3 weeks and let you know.
Oh, jeez.
So far, so good.
Yes, and
Well, it's really,
I've done quite a few private lessons, and that's worked out well too.
on Zoom?
Yes.
Okay, good to know.
So just one-on-one.
Do you prefer that?
It's more like rug school, and we're hanging out together.
Yeah. Well, in the Zoom meetings I've attended, I hate to say it, are boring sometimes, but this is not boring.
Oh yes, the woman who taught me my first sort of Zoom lesson, she's a scientist, and she said, and I'll show you a picture, and she clicked a button, and it was a spreadsheet of all this scientific gibberish. I was like, oh well, that worked out well.
Oh, jeez.
So I'm going to show you what I'm color planning next. Maybe this afternoon I'll get started. Can you see this angel?
Oh, beautiful. Oh.
So that's a picture.
That's
you
one.
get.
This is a painting by David Galshut. Have you all looked him up, and do you know about his patterns?
No, I
Okay.
don't.
You should all look him
I know
up.
nothing about him.
The last name is, it looks like Galchutt. Galchutt. Who had a question?
Is he the one that, oh, what is her name doing? The lady that,
Leanne Sittler.
okay, all right. No, it's not the one.
Okay. Leanne
Could you
Sittler.
spell that name?
Galchutt. Where's the pattern? Many, many beautiful paintings. A lot of them have birds. This particular one is called the Winter Angel. And my daughter's going to show you the pattern. It's very complex. Can you see?
Oh, yeah.
It's got multiple details.
A little closer. You can see.
Wow.
Yeah, it's quite a task to put one of these kits together. And the rugs are fairly large, but they're always sort of multiple details, like beyond belief. Worse than a Pearl McGowan floral.
Oh, wow.
When I was looking at the pattern, you had it numbered? Is it numbered?
No, that's just other little details, jewels, stars.
Oh.
It's just unbelievable sometimes. Yes,
How long
but
does it take you to do it?
it usually
To
takes.
draw something?
I don't draw them. The woman I spoke of, Leanne Sittler, she has the rights to the patterns, and she has them drawn. And then if somebody says, who can color plan this? She says, me. And they send me the pattern, and then I lay out the whole kit.
Whoa.
Yeah. And it usually takes me 2 or 3 days to plan out one rug, and then that depends if I have to do a lot of dyeing or not, or if I can just go to my cabinet and pull some wool.
My garden is like a jungle.
Yes, we picked some zucchini this morning and cucumbers. We're patiently waiting for the tomatoes to ripen. And we have the most beautiful green bean vines you've ever seen in your life, and the green beans aren't here yet.
Green bean blossoms, but no beans yet. But
Yeah.
my husband staked them this year, and they're taller than he is, and he's 6 foot.
Yes,
Oh my gosh.
ours are that tall too. And we're short people. We have to get on ladders. Do
I
you
think it was in the right pile.
have 3
I don't think it
motifs?
really. Yeah, I got 3 motifs.
Yeah, go ahead and use that beautiful turquoisey blue spot.
This is gorgeous.
Thank
Love
you.
it.
You can order it.
How long have you been doing this?
You
Michele?
can order it anytime. It's called Monet.
Oh, whoa. I will take you up on it because I just love it.
Let's see it.
Okay, hang on here. All right, here we go. Can you see it?
Oh, wow.
Oh, yes, it's beautiful.
Isn't this gorgeous?
Yeah.
Oh.
I've
I
been.
love the colors.
Thank you. Those are my favorites. I've been rug hooking since 1991.
Wow. I've been rug hooking a long time, but I'm just not as advanced as you, I'll tell you that much.
Well, it's not a matter of being advanced. It's because I hooked 8 rugs my first year. I was obsessed, I'll say.
Uh-huh.
Everybody in my family is, if they're not artists, they're creative. So when I was little, my brother, the artist, would set, he had beautiful art supplies and he did not want me to touch them. He was already a teenager when I was born. That's what I'm trying to say. So I was always touching his stuff. So after a while, he learned that if he bought himself a set of, let's say, magnificent colored pencils, he'd buy me a little tiny set and he'd say, these are yours, these are mine, don't touch mine.
That was smart.
That was smart.
That was a nice brother.
He was very nice, and he still is. And he also, he bought me a lot of books. He worked at the Yale bookstore, and he would buy me the most magnificent books you could imagine of Russian fairy tales or elves and fairies. And then he would say I feel like they nurtured my imagination a lot. They would make me name all the elves. And every morning when I got up, they would say, oh, here comes a little girl. What's your name? And they would want me to make up a new name. So every day I would make up some crazy name. And then they'd call me by that name all day.
Oh, you must have been the youngest.
I was far and away. They were teenagers. I was a baby. I was a second marriage baby. And there were four of them, so I was like the doll. Okay, I'm going to show you the whole piece of that Monet wool. Look at this.
Oh my gosh, that's beautiful.
You have my address?
Yes, I'm writing it down. So who wants the piece of Monet?
I want to see it hooked.
Oh, well, you have to
Yeah,
order.
I haven't been hooking that long.
Uh-huh.
So a model wool
Yeah.
is new to me.
So Helen, are you asking me to send you a piece?
No, I'm asking you, is that available at all times, or is
Yes.
it something that just, okay?
Just remember it's called Monet Spot.
Monet Spot.
And
I'll write
it's-
it down, I will remember.
It's repeatable.
Purple, so.
And
Neon purple. Oh, that is so pretty.
I'm going to show you another piece of wool. This one's called Neon Purple Spot.
Oh, cool.
That's,
That one's cool.
that's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. I try to have a little fun when I'm in the dye pot.
Well, that is what you need to do. Otherwise, I just dyed 20 yards of wool for my rug. And at the end, it was really work.
Yes.
Because you figure out what the color had to be, and then it is work to do it.
Yes.
But just playing like that,
Yes.
that is much more fun.
Yes. Much more. And my daughter does most of the repeatable dyeing, and I do most of the custom dyeing. You meet my daughter yet? Stick your face in here, Michelle. This is Michelle Jr. Hi.
Hello.
And she's hooking.
Pretty lady.
Thank you. She's hooking right beside me. She's hooking exactly what you're hooking so that we can, figure out what's what.
My new house has a dye kitchen in it.
Ooh, I'm jealous.
No, it
Mhm.
is, but it's about to be.
Oh, good. Very good.
It doesn't know it yet.
No, it's just a kitchen in the basement.
Cool.
Nice.
The
Are you
Italian.
anxious to get there?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
The today I found out I had misinterpreted the closet. The closets. They were really stairs. I thought there was a closet that he was drawing clothes hangers in it, but he was really drawing the stairs that were underneath it.
Oh.
So they're over there today measuring all my closets. They keep popping up. You know, this room is this by this room is this by that. And oh my gosh. The one I said was dark brown wood, no, it's white. You know. I gotta paint that up, you know.
So do you call those kitchens in the basement summer kitchens?
You know, I don't know what they are, but a lot of houses in this town have them.
Yes.
In Kentucky, they do.
The Italians in New Haven have them. And it was so you could cook down in the basement because it was cool. Cook down in the basement because it was cooler.
And a lot of them have brick
That
ovens.
may be the idea.
Yeah.
But man, I have 5 ovens in this house.
Oh.
my gosh.
I know.
Maybe somebody was kosher.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just the way it is. You know, that, I don't know. Sometimes I think they rent out some of those places to students.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And I think they did at some point.
Before I was full-time rug hooker, I was a caterer for 20 years.
Wow.
Well, you could feed us then.
I could. I owned a couple of restaurants too.
Oh my.
It's hard work.
Was it all in the town that you're in?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a, well, I cooked everything, and because I'm such a researcher and learner, if somebody wanted something, I would teach myself to do it, or take a class, or have somebody teach me. So I cooked everything. A lot of Italian population and a lot of Jewish population in New Haven. So I did a lot of both of that, and I also did Chinese and Indian and whatever anybody wanted. Cajun parties.
I do beef Wellingtons. And...
yeah, beef Wellingtons, and sometimes it was very fancy and sometimes it was very pedestrian. Yeah, on the grill. It was fun because, of course, you get to go to parties several times a week. Yeah, and I did mostly big public events. The opening of the courthouse, or the reopening of the railroad station, or a theater. I catered at the Long Wharf Theater a lot, and the Schubert, and it was fun.
The dinosaur room at the Peabody Museum was a lot of fun.
Yes.
A lot of weddings there.
I catered a wedding at the Peabody Museum in the dinosaur room in front of the giant turtle.
And the geologist department, that was fun.
The woman who got married in front of the giant turtle, it was her 5th wedding. And she said, oh, I thought it'd be fun to do it here. I'm not taking it too seriously.
Track record sucks.
Just a wedding.
Still married?
No, she got divorced after about 6 months.
There was a reason for a party.
I think that was just her routine.
He loves only the parties.
Yes.
He loves the party, to have the big
wedding,
party,
yes.
the attention, and then
Yeah,
the
and
rest
then
of the marriage was not so interesting.
that's right. I think you're exactly right. And this guy he was a foreigner. He was like from Peru or somewhere. He was like so exotic and wonderful, I'm sure, new and intriguing, and then, that wears thin after a while.
So what do I do after I finish my motifs? Oh my gosh.
Start your alternate bark. That's the little part to the left or the right side of the tree. They're mostly on the left. See, there's that little curvy line.
Yeah.
Fill that part in
Alright.
This.
with the piece marked alternate bark.
Okay. I put some of that kind of big. It's not that I'm fast.
Okay, that's all right.
How do you?
Well, I sort of went up and down for the most part. I'll say an anomaly on the tree like moss or lichen or mushrooms or, so it's not, doesn't have to be perfect.
So what kind of outline?
Nothing about this entire thing has to be perfect. This is just fun hooking.
You outline the tree afterwards?
Yeah. I like to outline with the color I'm using just to keep things tucked in properly. I always say this isn't your...
Do you outline first and then
Yeah.
go to the middle?
Yeah.
Is that what you mean? Oh.
Yeah. You could do it any way you want. It's not your grandmother's portrait. It's just a fun thing.
What if my grandmother was a tree?
Well, in that case, you'd have to pay closer attention.
Ooh, this is coming out pretty. The way that you dyed it, you know, there's light spots and dark spots.
Right.
It's all over the place.
Yes. So, show me the yarn you're hooking. Can you hold it in front of your face? So that is very thin yarn, but very fabulous. So I would hook that at least double. So cut a piece, fold it in half, and hook it double, and you're going to get almost like a confetti effect from it. And pull it up a tiny bit higher than you think.
Maybe some of this alternative bark can have some of that in there.
Yeah, so you can put in strips of whatever makes you happy here and there. Remember that trees have a lot going on. They have, you know, bird poop and mushrooms and places where the squirrels made scratches. There's all kinds of things going on. And you can just go ahead and make yourself happy. Put in a little of this and that. And that alternate bark should appear within your bark every now and then.
So you sent us some dog wool?
Dog poop wool, no, not me, but you could do that on your own and you could sculpt that and make it look very realistic.
I only have cats.
Oh, well, you know what shape those are then.
I sure do.
What is always nice to put in a tree is a little bit of dark purple.
Yeah.
Then it looks like you have a crank in there.
Yes, very true. And purple is the perfect color for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very natural. It looks natural. The other thing is, you're all doing a similar thing. If you were all doing different things, I feel like I would have to keep the class size small. Because you'll all have different questions. And I have to pay attention more.
When there's a hook in, or you sign up and it's open. When they say it's open, what does that mean?
That means you can use any pattern, any cut, Um, and it's just sort of a free-for-all. So that's the kind of class I like best. You can design your own, or I'll design something for you, or you can bring a pattern from another teacher. I like that best because I feel everybody is doing something meaningful to themselves, and that everybody will share what they're doing. And so you'll learn from somebody else's rug, and somebody else will learn from your rug, and different subjects arise where it helps me find fodder for a lecture. You know, when you say, how do you hook a whatever, I can explain it to the whole class. You know, why is the sky in this black, you know, black and navy blue and not a sunset sky? You know, I can form a talk or a lecture from that.
So if someone was to sign up to a class like that, they're signing up because they like the teacher and her techniques.
Usually, or they like the subject matter. So if you're doing, let's just say off the top of my head, animals or Monet paintings, you might go to a teacher you don't even know, but you like the subject matter.
Oh. Our camps here were like that, where we mainly did our own thing.
Yeah, I like that best because I feel people are more invested in what they're doing rather than being forced to do a certain thing that maybe doesn't interest them as much. I don't really like doing kits and everybody doing the same thing, but I didn't know if I could achieve what I wanted to in an open class situation the first time I'm doing this.
But what about an abstract?
Well, yeah, we could just lose our minds with a ruler and a shot glass and go lines and circles and zigzags. And I did an interesting exercise in a rug hooking class once where I'm going to say we had a page that had 6 sections, and in one section she would say, draw a shape of anger, draw a shape of joy, draw. Everybody's drawings were at the end. It was just like a single line thing. So you could imagine if you drew anger that it would be sort of like sharp zigzags, I'll say, or you know, lines crossing over each other. Draw crazy, draw joy, and then certain things are always, like if you draw joy, that almost is always started at the bottom and moving up like a spiral or a ribbon. So it was a very interesting exercise, and it made you think about when you're drawing a rug, what kind of emotions you're putting into it. That was a teacher much smarter than I am.
But I bet you could do it.
Yes, we did it. It was a lot of fun. And the other thing we did was we sat across from somebody and we quickly did their portrait, like in 30 seconds, half a minute. You just quickly do it. And then the next time we did it, we had 3 minutes. And then the next time we had 8 minutes. And it was interesting to see how it developed, and also how it really did look like the person, even if you didn't have much drawing skill. There were just always identifiable characteristics, like, you know, eyeglasses and curly hair and a little nose or a big nose and a big smile, that you could kind of recognize who was who around the classroom.
The face without the mirror was a good cause.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, oh, well, I have one that's really fun that I think we could do remotely. Now you gotta go upstairs and get them. They're hanging on the wall outside your bedroom. Where you're not allowed to look at yourself. And then I would teach you to draw your face. And so here's how it works. You take your fingers a little bit apart and you put them in the corner of your eyes, like this. And then you take your fingers and you put them down on the paper and you make 2 dots for the corners of your eyes. Then you take your finger and you put it down your nose and you try to measure where the end of your nose is on your finger, and you put that between the 2 dots on your eye, and now you know how long your nose is. So now you want to feel the end of your nose. Some of them are round, some of them are oval, some of them have 2 bumps, and then you draw in the end of your nose. Then you're only using a pencil and your hand. You're going to measure how wide your nose is by doing that same thing like you did with the corner of your eyes. And you're going to put those 2 dots so you'll know how wide to begin drawing your nose. Isn't this fun?
That's interesting. Yeah.
Then you take your finger and you put it under your nose like this. And you think, does only my pinky fit there? Or can I put 2 fingers? Some people, the top of their lip is long, maybe just my index finger. And then you just put the top of the lip where you think it goes. Then we're going to measure the width of our mouth. And so this goes on and on until you're feeling your skull. Here's my favorite part. If you put your fingers in your nose and you pull it to the side, does it land in your ears? So, or do you have to go down or up? Is it straight across? So now you're beginning to see where your ears are going to go. Where do you place them on your head? And even if you're not going to draw your ears in the picture, you sketch them in because your ears affect how your hair falls over your ear. So you draw it in and then you draw the hair over it and you get a more accurate flow of the hair. It's a very fun class. And of course your chin is an oval or a round or a flat oval. And it just goes on. And I would say it took us almost all morning to draw our faces. And then by the afternoon, we were kind of trying to decide. You were only allowed to draw the face with no preconceived notion, and you were not allowed to draw the face in the center of the page. You either had to draw it up or down or left or right. Then you look at that face and you try to decide how that person, you, is feeling. Did you look happy? Did you look pensive? Did you look sad? Did you look quizzical? And so we would then describe what we thought the person was feeling ourselves. And the next morning when we came into class, the teacher had hung them up around the room. And then you would have to decide where you were. Where is this person and why is she there? So I'm going to show you the face I did. This is me and my face portrait. Can you see it?
Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh.
Maybe you have to move back a little
Maybe
bit.
I gotta hold it up.
Yeah. Can you see
Yeah, there
her?
it is.
I'm having trouble hearing you, Amy. No, this was hooking, because then we drew in the background. And this girl is in a New Orleans restaurant. She got hired because she was pretty. And I call her my inner black child. She's wearing kind of a African dress, and she's got a turban, like her hair tied up in a cloth. And that's a stained glass window behind her, but it's nighttime, so you can't, it's not stained glass, it's leaded glass.
Wait, is that was that your picture that you drew of yourself?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you have to make up these stories about it. It was a lot of fun. And then by the second day, we began hooking. And
That would be fun.
here's one my daughter did. She apparently is an Egyptian goddess, and we didn't know it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that was fun.
Love it.
Yeah. So I've taught this class many times, and sometimes it's very cathartic for people. Some people will say, "Oh, I didn't know I was a Las Vegas showgirl," or somebody.
Back, I have to cut the fabric.
Oh yeah. And one woman who her husband had passed away said, "Oh, I drew myself towards the top of the page. I think that means I'm recovering from my husband's death." It was years later, and she said, "I'm finally starting to feel uplifted and happy again." So
It's my first rug.
people realize a lot of things when they examine themselves that closely. Michelle, where's the fallen angel?
Oh, okay.
I got one more I did. I guess I can't decide if I'm good or bad, so you'll see this one. But that class is a lot of fun, and I bet we could do that remotely.
I think so, yeah.
Well, if enough people were willing
Yeah.
to give of themselves, you know, I mean.
Yes, that's
so,
true.
I don't know how the group is.
Well, you have to be game. Yeah, you have to be game for the exercise.
Yeah, definitely.
But from the other hand, it doesn't have to be you. You mix something up.
Yes, that's right.
So it is, you don't have the feeling afterwards from, oh, I realize now I can't draw at all.
Yeah.
It is the face what you make.
Yes, it's just fun.
Use only your measurements.
Yes, it's just fun. Measure your forehead. 4 fingers, 3 fingers. It's just, you learn a lot. So here's the other one I did. She's the fallen angel.
Oh, wow.
She's half in heaven and half in hell.
Whoa.
And we'll see.
She is. Her face is yeah.
And so, is this you?
Yeah, they're all me. Yeah.
They're all you. Okay.
Well, except my daughter's, that was hers.
That was my first
Yeah,
rug.
right.
Yeah.
So anyone could do it.
That was her first rug, so anyone can do it.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I was having a workshop here, and I was teaching this class, and she decided she wanted to take the class, which I was shocked because she didn't have much interest in rug hooking, and she sat down and hooked that Egyptian woman, which I think is just beautiful.
Gorgeous. Wow.
Yes, and she didn't hook then for many years, and now she's hooking again. She's my definitely my right-hand man and assistant. She draws the patterns, the ones that are traceable, and she dyes the wool, the ones that are repeatable.
Good to have her as a sidekick.
Yes, and my husband does all the packing, the shipping, the advertising, the bill paying, and all the other business stuff that I hate.
There.
I'm not interested in any of the grown-up stuff. I just want to do the play part.
You're the artiste.
Yes. And I still am, you know, I still feel like the baby in the family. So, we're coming up to an hour and a half now, so I'm going to give you your homework. So by our lesson next week, I expect you to finish the tree. So do your swirly parts, use your bark color. If there's other motifs in the tree, they're labeled, like maybe you have triangles in your tree and they came with metallic yarn, or maybe you have teardrops in your tree and they came with iridescent wool. Everybody's is quite different. So this week you're gonna do your best to finish the tree, and next week we're gonna begin to develop the garden under the tree. There's a lot of motifs there, and some of you have a section that has mulch, and some of you have a section outside the mulch that's grass. And we're going to start to develop that part. This is just a fun thing for you to learn to use these different materials and to, you know, have a lot of joy in being whimsical, I'll say.
So on a grass, this is my grass.
Yeah.
Cut it the length.
Yes, but that will be next week, right? Yes, you can, no, you can cut some of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I won't till next week, but
Okay.
you want it cut.
Yeah, so you want to cut a little bit of mulch and a little bit of grass. And then you want, and then all of your little packets and labels are the motifs within the mulch and the grass. If you look your kit over carefully, everything will be clear and labeled. I hope.
Now, where do we put the beads?
Well, did I write have fun on the bag?
No, we didn't.
What does it say on the bag?
The bag doesn't say anything.
Okay, well, on some of them I wrote just have fun. So when the rug is all done, if you feel like you want to put a bead in the middle of a flower, or in the middle of your bird's eye, or on your bark, like there's a wet spot, you know, use your imagination. Those are strictly up to you and just for fun. Okay.
So to do the spiral, the part that would be the tree color,
What spiral are you talking about, huh?
we have spirals all over the place.
Oh, yes, those are the branches of the tree that are curling. So that's your bark color. So does anybody have any questions on how to continue hooking their tree?
So then the bird and nest are part of the sky or some other, they're not part of the tree.
So there are motifs that are on the tree, and I think that's how I tried to label them.
Okay.
So the bird is very clear. If you want to hook your bird, you may go right ahead. His feet are labeled, his body's labeled, his wing, his crown, his even his eye. It's
Beak.
all labeled, his beak. And some of you have a nest, and some of you have an Egyptian eye. So just look it over carefully, and you will see everything should be pretty clear.
But the one one thing we for sure should have done is just the tree.
Yes, for sure get the tree done. And if you want to go ahead and hook your bird and your nest, go ahead and do that. And then next week we're going to do what's on.
Fibers you've included are basically the same as today.
So you have to determine when you pick up a piece of yarn, is it going to hook single, double, triple? And I would say for the most part you have to pull the yarn up a little higher than you would normally pull up the wool, especially if it's kind of an eyelash yarn, because you want to release those fibers to come forward. And sometimes I pull that way up and then back down so I get the ruffly effect of the fuzzy yarn.
Okay.
Amy, did you ever finish the kibbutz?
Oh, don't even ask.
I'm asking.
Actually, it's very close.
Oh, good. Okay, so you'll show it to me another time?
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
It's really, I just have a little bit of border left.
Oh, wow. All right, I'm excited. Now I have something to look forward to.
I'll show it.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions? Does everybody feel satisfied with their lesson?
Yes.
All right, don't all speak at once. Okay. All right, I'm going to go away then, and I'll see you next week.
Okay.
Okay.
Loved it.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, my darlings.